During today's talk, we're going to discuss the role of our body in mindfulness meditation through the eyes of MIDL. This will help us understand how to fully use the function of our body to develop our mindfulness meditation practice, and also what it means to our daily life. Firstly, when discussing anything through the eyes of meditation, we are never talking about what a thing is, but rather we're talking about its function and how it's experienced. What a thing is functions on the conceptual level. Yeah? We need to understand this to understand our meditation practice. Let's look at the conceptual way in which we relate to our body. So I look at my body and I think, okay, my body is tall or it is short. It's fat, it's thin, yeah? It's black, it's white. Maybe I see my body as being attractive or unattractive, healthy, unhealthy, well-dressed, and in my case, not well-dressed. These are the usual ways that we relate to our body. All of these are just concepts. If we approach our body in this way and read body as these concepts, when understanding meditation practice, our meditation practice will become all about me. It will become shallow. It won't develop. But let's look at the meaning of body through the eyes of meditation. So that is its function and its experience. How do you experience your body? We experience our body as sensations. This is how our body is actually experienced. If you look what it feels like just to sit here now, can feel some warmth or coolness on my skin. Yeah? So warmth, coolness. Some tightness. Yeah, some tightness in the body. Also feeling pressure. I can feel my hands touching one another. The pressure of my arms and the legs. The touch of my bottom on the floor, touch of the feet. If I'm relaxed, I can feel heaviness throughout my body. So our body is actually experienced as a series of elemental qualities or sensations. We experience our body as a range of hard to soft, warm to cool, wet to dry, heaviness, lightness, movement, vibration, tension. When we place awareness within our body, this is how our body is experienced. So when doing the MIDL training, and I say, become aware of your body. Immerse your awareness within your body. Remember the touch of your body. What I'm referring to is this elemental quality. This elemental quality of your body. To understand this elemental quality better, we then have to understand the function. In mindfulness meditation, remember we're experiencing our body, so we know how our body is experienced at this time. So let's look at the true function of our body. What's our body's function? Our body really has three functions. This is its purpose: to propagate the species, to breed, to move around through the world, and as a sense organ. The first two functions really aren't that important to our meditation practice. We're interested in the third function, the function of our body as a sense organ. One of our mind's function is to interpret what are called the five senses. So there's 5 doorways through which the world comes into us. There is the eye doorway, the first sense. And the eye doorway is sensitive to what? To light. So when light strikes the eye doorway, there is a contact there. If light strikes your ear, can you see? No, that's right. The ear doorway is sensitive to sound. The nose doorway is sensitive to smell. Tongue to taste, yes. And our body doorway is sensitive to touch. Our body is a sense organ. Our body's task is to listen to the world through touch. The world is coming in and touching you right now. It's coming in and touching you with light, with sound, with smell, with taste. And it's also touching your body. The air is touching you, the chair, the floor. Whenever anything touches our body mirrors this touch by producing sensations. These are these elemental qualities: hardness, softness, wet, dry, hot, cold, heavy, light, movement, vibration, tension. All of them are reflections of the world touching you. So our mind sits behind these 5 senses and looks out at the world. The world comes in and hits our senses. When it contacts our senses, then our mind has the ability to interpret what is out there. If I reach for Jason's hand right now, and we shake hands, there'll be contact between our hands. Now I cannot actually feel Jason. Yeah, this is how close, how intimate we can actually be with anyone or anything. I can't feel him. What I actually feel is the changing sensations within my body from that contact. I feel warmth, I feel pressure, maybe softness or hardness. But I can't actually feel him. So our body's function as a sense organ, it reflects the world through touch. And here's where it starts to get interesting. Our mind also touches our body. I like to think of my mind as having tentacles that go into my body, like an octopus. Yeah. And these tentacles touch our body. Our mind is the sixth sense. Our mind senses the five senses, but it also senses thoughts, memories. If your mind is chewing on a problem or a painful memory, the juice coming out of that thought, that memory, reflects through the touch of your mind in your body. Literally, whatever your mind is chewing on, whatever your mind is involved in, whatever your state of mind is, because your body's function is to reflect touch, and since your mind is touching your body will reflect the touch of your mind. So we have a second layer of sensations that arise within our body. We have the sensations that arise from the touch of the world, and then we have the sensations that arise from the touch of the mind. And these sensations that arise in our body from the touch of the mind we call emotions and feelings. Emotions are just sensations arising within our body to reflect the touch of our mind, to reflect the state of our mind. So our body's function is to be a mirror to or reflect touch. And we have the elemental qualities that arise in our body due to the touch of our mind. So if my mind is feeling aversive and angry, then the elemental quality of anger will arise within my body. Anxious, elemental quality arises. Depressed, frustrated, lonely, elemental quality arises. We see this as an elemental change. Literally, the sensations in your body will change, will alter their shape to reflect your state of mind. So when using our body as a meditation object, our first task is to become very intimate with the different sensations within our body, to open up our sensitivity to those sensations as much as we can. If we get used to the landscape in our body, this is what my body feels like when the world touches me, then we also can start to separate, this elemental quality, these sensations in my body, are not from the world touching me, but they're coming and produced by the touch of my mind. This means by becoming sensitive to the elemental qualities as the world touches you, arising in your body, you'll start to become very sensitive to your state of mind and quality of heart. So our body plays a bigger function in MIDL practice than our mind does. You could think that it would be recommended that we observe the mind because the five senses come into it. But we don't. The Buddha in meditation practice in the Satipatthana Sutta uses our body as a foundation. Why is this? Because the elemental qualities in your body always tell the truth. They are direct reflection. A mirror does not lie. So our body directly reflects the state of our mind. It tells the truth. So our task as meditators, particularly in MIDL practice, in mindfulness in daily life, is to learn to read the patterns of sensations within our body, like learning another language or Braille, learning to feel these different sensations and read their meaning. Through reading the sensations, the elemental qualities that appear within our body, we understand our mind. We understand when it's longing for something, when it's resisting something, and when it's equanimous and balanced. This then gives us a doorway to retrain the mind. The elemental quality in our body always tells the truth. So why don't we use the mind? Our mind is basing interpretation of these sensations through misinformation. It interprets our senses through our past experience. Now, if your past experience has been flawed, if it's been corrupted, if you've had a trauma in your life, if you have had pain in your life, then when your mind uses the past, because what else can it identify now through? When it uses the past to identify now, to identify these 5 senses, and that information contains pain, then the way it interprets now will be flawed, and the narrative that it will supply within your head will also be flawed. And this creates the world we normally live in, but it's a flawed world. It's a reactionary world. It's not the world of reality. It's not the world of truth. This is why we don't believe what the mind produces, but we believe the elemental qualities within the body. Now here comes the interesting part, just to wind this up for you. Our body's task is to reflect the world through sensations, through the sensations of touch. And our mind looks out through our body, and also our other 4 senses through sight, sound, smell, taste. And it puts them all together, it assembles them to create the world that we see out there. So our mind is looking out through our 5 senses to interpret the world, to protect us, literally. And one of the senses it looks through is the elemental quality of our body. But there lies a problem. Our body also reflects the touch of our mind. So if your mind is chewing on something, if it's worrying about something, if it's concerned about something, well then of course its touch on your body will make sensations, probably unpleasant sensations, arise within it. Now your mind is still looking through your body as one of the senses to interpret the world around you. But now the elemental quality, the sensations in your body, have been polluted by, they've been corrupted by the touch of your mind. Literally the sensations, the emotional qualities coming up within your body, have corrupted the touch of the world around you. And so your mind is putting all these five senses together. It's looking out through your body at the world, but it's actually looking at a flawed reading. The reading has been flawed by the mind itself. Your mind sees its own reflection within your body, and it reacts as if that reflection is out there in the world around you. So if its reflection is anger, it looks in the world for something that has caused anger, because it thinks that that reflection is the world around it. If the reflection is fear, it looks out of the world for fear. Frustration, anxiety, loneliness, sadness. So literally it's looking through this reflection, and because it thinks that it's a reflection of the world, it's looking for the reason for that emotional quality in your body, in the world around you. But what it ceases to understand is that it is reacting to its own reflection. In MIDL, we use seated meditation to cultivate a sense of investigation, mindfulness and concentration, so we can literally observe awareness, observe the mind and its knowing quality. Once the momentum of seated meditation has been built, we then transfer the meditation practice into our daily life. Throughout the day, we observe our heart and mind. How do we do this in MIDL? By increasing our sensitivity to the elemental quality of the world touching us, and by observing the elemental change within our body as the mind touches it. This allows us to observe when the landscape of our body changes, and to apply the MIDL softening into skill to relax, soften deeply into our mind's relationship to what is being experienced within the five senses, or should I say, within the six senses. It's through observing this change within our body, softening into our dislike of it or our like of it, into our relationship, that allows the mind to develop equanimity, develop a mature mind, mature heart within daily life. Have a wonderful day. Take care of yourselves. Goodbye.